Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to show you what my planner looked like for the month of July 2024. So this month I didn't do a plan with me for the monthly view. However, I think I'll be posting a video showing how I plan my months and what I have planned for August, and this will probably come out next week. We'll see. Anyway, so for those of you who haven't watched yet another video here from my channel, I use a daily planner. So I have two different notebooks that I use because all of the pages, they don't fit in a single book. This one is the one I use most of the days. It has the planner cover, it has most of the inserts that I am using for the current week, and so on and so forth. So for this planner here, I just leave the monthly view for every single month. If I have any kind of if I need to refer to anything that happened in previous months, I have all of them here. So I'm just going to start with this, and I'm going to show you what I planned for July. So this is the first page for each month. I have a list of priorities and goals here. And then I also have my habit tracker. I didn't use this page a lot this month because I was focused on the daily sheets instead of this, but I did write down the days that I exercised, which was the most important thing. Now, in terms of monthly, as you can see, it's pretty bare. I didn't use it a lot as well because, like I said, I was not in the best planning mood. So I focused only on the daily sheets because these are the most important ones for me. Anyway, so whenever the day is finished, I just cross out the box here on the monthly so I know that this is over. I'm just going to show you quickly August. There you go, we are at the beginning of August, so I did cross out a couple of things, and as you can see, I'm using August much more than I did July. And also for you to have an idea, this is what it looks like when I actually use my planner. So I have plenty of stuff here. I like to write down the events that I had during the month, but that simply didn't happen for July. So I also use a half-page insert to write down the tasks that I want to accomplish this month. Usually these are only the tasks that I have for my work. So I like to write down everything that I want to issue, any kind of document, any kind of calculation that I need to do. For those of you who are new, I don't think I have actually said that before, but I am an engineer, so I work in a company that we have a lot of calculations and we have a lot of documents, reports, we do a lot of testing. So I work with that, and I have to be very careful not to forget any kind of calculation or document that I need to issue. So this is very, very helpful. As you can see, like I said, I didn't use this a lot. And then here in the back we have a list that I should put all of my meals. Let me show you one month that I actually used it. So January I did use it. I want to fill this up because I did write down the meals that I have on the daily sheets. I just need to transfer them to this page. But we'll see, this takes a little bit of time and effort, and I'm not sure if I want to do this right now. And then here, let me just do that so you can see a little better. This here is a summary of the hours I spent on each project for my work. So I worked on 4 different projects this month. You can see here by the different colors and different numbers. And then for each project, I wrote down on the daily sheets how many hours I spent on meetings, sorting through emails, training, and all kind of documents that I had to issue and write. So in blue here is the comparison between what I actually did and how many hours I had planned for this project. So for this one in particular, I had planned 89 hours for the month, and I used 73, so I used 16 hours less than what I had planned. And for this project here, it actually happened the opposite. I had 47 hours planned and I used 86, so I did 39 extra hours on this project. This is just to give me an idea of how I'm doing in terms of hourly planning for the projects. As you can see here, this was from May, I think. Yeah, May. So I had planned 114 hours for this project. I did 111, so it was pretty close. For this one, I planned 15 hours and did 17, so pretty close as well. This one I had 0 planned and did a total of 2. And so this is just for me to calibrate a little bit for next month how many hours I'm going to input in each project. So I think that's quite helpful. Now I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with this part here for this planner. This is the financial part, but I don't do my budget here. I do it in another planner, so I'm not going to be showing this way to you. Now let me grab the notebook that I use to put my old inserts, or the inserts I have already used and don't need to have with me anymore. So this one is this is just a continuation of that page for the budget, and then we start on the weeklies. So this planner has a monthly view, weekly view, and also daily sheets, and I use all of them. So for the weekly, what I usually do is just to input all of my meetings. So these ones in pink are my meetings, and then during Saturday and Sunday I actually use it to count how many hours I spent on each task for each project. So for example, here for this project in particular, I had a couple of hours for meetings, emails, and training. For this one, I had a couple of hours for support in one of the tasks, in another one, and then in meetings for both of them. So that's pretty much what I do in terms of weekly. And then here on top of each day, I just put the number of hours I spent for each project. Here is in terms of tasks, and here is in terms of projects. I need to do that every week because by the end of the week, I need to fill a form online telling how many hours I spent on each project for each day. So this is quite helpful. And then I also use this half-page sheet. It's a little bit smaller than the full page because this is for another notebook, which is a little bit smaller. But I like to use this one because I don't need as much space for the weekly tasks. And I use this just to write down what I need to accomplish for this exact week. So I use the half page, the full half page for the month, and this one for each week. So this was the first week. This was the second week. I also like to put my social events here and also the times that I go to the gym or if I have a medical appointment and stuff like that. So I did this in this week, and I just wanted to let you know that all of these tasks and this part here I did at the end of the month. Usually I try to do it every single week, but for this month I wasn't able to do that. So by the end of the month I came back and I calculated and added up all the hours that I spent on each project and each task. This took a while. And then again, this was the task list for the second week of July. This was for the third week of July, and also we have all the sums and all of the meetings. For the fourth week of July, I didn't use a half page for the task list because I didn't actually use this week's page. I just filled it in after the week was done, so I ended up not using the task list. So that's all in terms of weekly view, and then we go into the daily pages. So I really like the daily because it has a very big space here for you to write down all of your events and anything that has a certain time. And I also like to use this to write down during my work day, which is usually between these two red lines, what I did. So this helps me count how many hours I spent on each task and each project. So that's very helpful. And then we also have plenty of space for tasks here. Usually I don't fill this up. As you can see, this is pretty full, but then the following days are not as full. And then we also have this little space here for notes, which I usually use to glue these little sheets that I receive every single day that I go to the office. So when I go to the office, I have to use my badge, and the system just gives me this little paper that tells me the time that I came in and the time that I left. So I just glue it right here. And then for my timed events like meetings or going to the gym or medical appointments, I use little stickers here that I made myself, and it has the perfect size for half an hour here on the hourly side. So this is what it looks like. When I work from home, usually on Friday, I don't fill the planner a lot, as you can see. Some days I'm not very inspired. As you can see during the weekends, that happens a lot as well. I'm trying to do better at this, but actually I don't really need to fill this up for anything formal, unlike the work days when I need to fill it up because I need to know how many hours I spent on each project. During the weekend, I don't have that. I don't need to see how many hours I spent on anything, but I would like to fill this up because then I will know what I'm doing during the weekends. Anyway, so let's keep it going. I'm just going to show you what it looked like during the month. A couple of days again, I didn't fill up completely, but this weekend was better than the previous one. And one thing that I do as well, I forgot to mention, is that I use this little space here on the top first to write down if I am doing home office or if I went to the office, and also to add up all of the hours for my work day. And I put here the project that I worked on and also the type of task that I worked on. So by the end of the week, I just have to look at this top part here of every single day to add up, and then go back into the weekly view and input that information. So that's very, very helpful. And then one thing that I do as well, I usually will use a mild liner, red mild liner, to mark the time that I started working, then my lunch time, and then the time that I left work. And this just gives me an idea if I'm working over hours or under hours. And I also write down the lunch that I had and dinner. Of course, not every single day. I'm trying to do better at this because this way I can just go back and then use that monthly page, the back part, to write down the list of all of the meals that I had. So as you can see, I did use the daily sheets quite a bit this month, which is great. And I think for the first time, I was able to glue all of these little sheets for every single day that I went to the office. And I usually am not able to do that because when I leave work, I have to put this little sheet somewhere. And usually my planner is already in my bag and I don't have time. So I just throw it either in a pocket or in my bag, and I end up losing it. But this month, this worked pretty well, so I was able to keep all of them. Now, the last weekend, I didn't write anything. And then by the end of the month, my little stickers ran out and I had to print new ones. My printer is having some trouble with the ink, so the color kind of changed, but that's fine. I also liked this color here, and that has worked quite well for me. And one thing I also try to do a couple of times throughout the month is apply the Franklin-Covey method for prioritizing tasks. I'm not sure if you will be able to see that, but here on the side I write first the letter for the corresponding priority, corresponding importance of the tasks for task. So for important tasks I put A, for tasks that I have to complete that day, I put 8, that I should complete, I put B, and then that I could complete, I put C. And then I just numbered the way that I want to finish. So this one, for example, complete ETS is 1A, so this is going to be the first task that I tackle this day, and so on and so forth. But I only did this usually on Monday, and then Tuesday and the rest of the days I don't do that. But this is something that I'm trying to be better at as well, just to prioritize my tasks better. Anyways, so I think that's it. Yeah, I have repeated inserts here because I did buy 2 different sets of inserts for this planner because I wanted the weeklies and also the dailies, but these ones are empty. There's nothing here. So this was my flip of the planner for July. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So next week, I think I'm going to do a review of my plans for August. If you are interested in that, don't forget to subscribe and also leave your like here in this video. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.